we are here. It is time for another episode of This is the Way. Our progression series is off to a very interesting start here. This is week pre-release. Last time was week 0, going over the starter deck and potential rules and so on and so forth. We're going to take a look here at what I was able to get as part of my pre-release. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to showcase the deck that I used for three of the 4 games that I played in the pre-release. We will have at least one gameplay game inside this video to showcase a little bit of what I was able to pull off with some of the stuff. There are 2 things here. I did start with a Bosk deck that got trashed, even though I was fairly confident in what it was able to do. Didn't have enough low-cost units, so you're not going to see that game. There's also another game where I accidentally played a card that was not in the deck originally, and it was in the deck, but it wasn't something I was paying attention to. So technically I flubbed, and that win should have been a loss because I wouldn't have been able to get the same amount of momentum doing that. But my opponent wasn't paying attention either, so it's both our faults. That player I will end up just giving a pack to at some time at a later date if I ever see them again. If not, sorry. I wasn't intending to cheat you. It just happens when you don't pay attention to things at a pre-release. So we're going to take a look at this deck. We're going to do some gameplay, and then we'll talk about what I got, the most interesting aspect of this pre-release that I did, and how we're going to move forward with the collection of cards that I have. So without any further ado, let's check out this deck. Earlier, I started, I think it was Bosk. It might have been Bosk Yellow. Yeah, it was, because I used Jabba's Palace. And then I flopped over to Boba Fett Jabba's Palace here, running Command Heroism and Cunning base here. So it was appropriate. It was thematic. I definitely should try to make an altar of this so that it says Boba's Palace and like Boba was here or something like that on the actual palace itself. Boba Fett, a much stronger leader than I originally gave him credit for. I don't know how well he'll do in Constructed, but in Sealed, he's a monster. Being able to basically utilizing any of the keyworded cards that you drop in your deck, including Bounty and Smuggle, you can give one of your units +1/+0 for the phase, and that's super cool. And then all of those things that have 1 or more keywords get +1/+0 while Boba Fett is out. No Boba Fett armor for this deck, but we'll go over quickly the thought process of what I got here. I'm not going to show everything I pulled from the pre-release, mainly because there's a lot of stuff that just isn't relevant. But in terms of what we had for our deck, we had 1 Warzone Lieutenant, just needed a low cost to be able to fill out my curve here. I technically didn't need this extra low cost, but it also wasn't hurting me because I could always just resource it. We had 2 copies of Clone Deserter. This is an excellent card in Sealed. Restore 1 is super huge. A 1 cost 2/1 that procs off of this keyword. Synergy is super good. And then making it a 3/3 when Boba Fett flips. Sure, my opponent's going to draw a card, but in Limited, that's not really that huge of an issue. I did manage to pull 3 copies of a card till Turncoat. So again, +1/+0 while Boba Fett is flipped, +1/+0 to any unit for 1, and exhausting my leader. Super good. And it's a space unit. Not a lot of things dealing with space in this set. We did have 1 Privateer sick. I did have enough Cunning units in order to be able to proc this at least once, which was nice. Collection Starhopper, 2 cost or 3 Smuggle for no cards from hand. Pretty good. We've got Freetown Backup. Didn't end up using this a lot, but I did smuggle it out once just to get another unit on the board. Fugitive Wookiee is actually the MVP of both decks, because it came out as a 3/3 the first round pretty much every time, and anytime my opponent defeated it except for once, they ended up not being able to use the exhaust effect from this, so that was super cool. I did have Protector of the Throne. I think there were a couple ways of getting some other tokens on this, but in and of itself, 3 cost, 2/4, not terrible. Frontier Trader, same thing as the Warzone Lieutenant. This is basically just a resource. I didn't really have too much else that would have been worth it. Liberated Slaves, 3 cost, 3/5, relevant traits for some other stuff, but realistically, it was just a 3 cost, 3/5. Foil Tech here, didn't really use this, but it was available to me, and because it has Smuggle, it procs and does cool things. Coruscant Dissident, tried to use it, wasn't very effective, but a 3 cost, 3/4 is not terrible. Principled Outlaw, I don't think I ever ended up actually using Smuggled or otherwise. 4 cost, 4/4 though, on attack, exhausted ground units. Kira, never ended up using it. I ended up resourcing her both times I saw. Modded Cohort, MVP, performs very well with Boba Fett, very thematic, just an all-around amazing card. Drop it into play, exhaust Boba Fett, hit something for 5, and it just clears it off the board. Discerning Veteran was also very good because this was able to capture one of my opponent's units that had an upgrade or 2 on it. Made it so that the effort they put into upgrading that unit ended up being really bad. So we have the Marauder here. This was basically just a 4/5 in space for 5 with ambush. Very good. It didn't end up using its effect at all, but it had ambush, which means it had the keyword, which means it was able to take down something of 5 cost. Millennium Falcon MVP here did end up winning me the last game. Technically, I was able to hit my opponent for 5 to finish them off. Very good card. We have Mercenary Company, another really damn good card with Boba Fett, because again, you put it into play, activate Boba's ability, it becomes a 6/5, it overwhelms, it ambushes, it does all kinds of good stuff. And then if you have Boba Fett flipped, then you don't even need to exhaust anything. You can just attack into it with Mercenary Company. I imagine Modded Cohort and Mercenary Company are going to be the MVPs of any Boba Fett heroism deck, considering the fact that they're both commands, so there's no resource penalty. Look the other way, used it once, my opponent paid the cost. I limited them a little bit. Hotshot DL44 Blaster won me a game. This was an absolutely incredible card, being able to smuggle it in for 3 off of a Cunning with a permanent boost to one of my units. Fantastic. Smuggler's Aid, never really got to use it. Price on Your Head, I believe I did use this, but I never really wanted to play it because it was a 2-cost bounty. 2 copies of Relentless Pursuit. I think I used this once, but being able to say that I had capture a unit for 3 as long as it would cost less was decent. Take Captive, I don't remember if this got used, but it was another captive card. And then Moment of Glory allowed me to try to put a threat out onto the board and make it so that my opponent had to deal with it, which they did, but they had to spend resources to deal with it, which, you know, kind of helps you do what you need to do. And that was the deck, 30 cards, I believe. But the MVPs absolutely are Clone Deserter, the Fugitive Wookiee, the Modded Cohort. Discerning Veteran was actually really good despite not having any keywords, and Mercenary Company. Absolutely incredible card to be able to use in limited and really good. So we're going to go ahead and showcase to you the one game that I was able to end up playing. And on the other side of that, we'll talk about what cards we're going to be adding to the collection, what cards we're going to be adding to the Mando deck itself, and then everything else from there on out. So see you on the other side. All right, good luck to you. Let's go Cartel Turncoat.
We'll take initiative.
Sounds good. We'll do Warzone Lieutenant, and then I'll pass.
Star Wars players, you have 25 minutes. This is the final round. When you're done, if both players can come up and get your prize back, that'd be great.
I'll start. I'll hit your base for 2.
Sounds good. I will also hit your base for 2.
I'll play Calvavon.
Man. Okay.
I was just looking for some tokens.
Go ahead and trade.
And I was like, I can't believe
What's up, Sam? I grab a free Ruthless Assassin.
Okay.
Next action, I'll play it.
Yeah.
Tap 2 for a Fugitive Wookiee.
I'll take initiative.
Alrighty. I'll pass.
I'll use a Moffat Gideon, have this guy run into your guy. Your base takes 1, I'll exhaust that.
Yep. Go 4 and we'll ambush into that. I'll take 2 back.
I'll play hunting next.
Okay. I will take the initiative.
I will pass.
Ready? Ready. Let's trade.
I'll flip him off to Gideon.
go 2 to your base.
I'll go 3 to your base.
Taking 2 off, putting 5 on. We'll play Liberated Slaves.
I'll play Clan Challengers.
I will take the initiative.
I will pass.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Cool. We're going to pay
Boy.
6
Big boys.
for Mercenary Company. We're going to exhaust this to give it +1, and we'll ambush into Gideon.
Nice. I will pay 2 because you have bounty to play a reputable hunter.
Sweet. We'll flip Boba Fett into play.
I'll pay 4 to give these Clan Challengers the Dark Saber.
Okay, that sucks. We'll swing 3 into your base.
Taking 2 up, playing 3. Or playing 5. I think I'll just go 10 to your base.
Sounds good. I will take the initiative.
I will pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
All right. We're gonna pay 5 for a discerning veteran. We're gonna capture your clan challengers. Yes, that's why I gave up 7 damage.
I'll pay 3 for a detention block rescue to kill it and
Okay. Well, at least it doesn't do anything this turn. We'll swing. Actually, we'll go ahead and swing 6 at your base.
Yeah, this guy's gonna trade. 5
Okay.
minutes.
Swing 3 at your base.
5 health, too. Yeah, that's weird. I will.
Pay 3, play Mandalorian Warrior, give an XP to the Clan Challengers.
We will swing 3 into that. I'll take 4 back.
I will take the initiative.
I'll pay 2 for a price on your head and finish them off, which will allow me to put the top card of my deck into play as a resource. I owe you 1 damage on here, and then yes, I'll pass.
He does more damage.
It starts. I use a detention block rescue to kill Boba Fett.
Yep. I'm gonna throw 3 at your base.
TIE Vanguard, put an XP on Mandalorian Warrior.
Do 2 to your base.
So that's 9. And 10. I'll hit your base for 4.
Okay. Taking 6 off, putting 10 on. Make sure I do this right. 3 there. Putting the collections Star Hopper into play.
That's why I said there's no reason for me to do that.
Take initiative.
Because that guy's dead anyways.
So 4 is going to put Freetown Backup into play. And 1 is going to Smuggler's Aid to heal 3 damage off my base. So taking 10 off, putting 7 on. And pass.
Starts.
Yeah.
We use Moff Gideon. TIE Fighter and Vanguard will take out the turncoat. You draw 1 card from the bounty.
That's good. Uh, 3 at your base.
I'll pay 7 to smuggle out 4/6 Sentinel.
That's not good. 2 to base.
Four to base.
That off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 4 left. We're gonna throw Millennium Falcon into play. We will use Boba Fett's effect to give this +1.
Alright. I'll play 2/2 Lieutenant.
I will take the initiative.
I will pass.
Okay. No resource.
And I die to Millennium Falcon.
Correct.
Good game.
Good game. All right, so we've got a couple of stacks here. This is the last stack we're going to go over. I also have this Marauder here. In terms of just basic cards that are commons and uncommons that are going to go into the collection that might end up being used for the deck are as follows. We do have I have 2 of these, I think. Yeah, I've got 2 jetpacks. This can allow me to give a unit protection on the turn and also trigger Mando's ability to be able to exhaust something for 4 health or less and +2 attack. It smuggles, which is interesting. I haven't decided exactly what this is going to be used for, but this could be good sideboard tech or it could be mainboard tech. That's something we can talk about later. We have another public enemy. If I need a bounty, I have access to that. Nima Outpost Constables is something I'm considering because as a Sentinel, this helps me protect my board and make it so that my opponent has even more things to go through when they're doing stuff. We have another Foundling. We have another Vambrace Grapple Shot, another Rival's Fall. I just can't say that card name. So those can be added to the card pool. I don't remember if we have 3 of these or not. I really do need to go through the deck list again, but we've got another Follower of the Way. We've got another Armorer, absolutely fantastic card to add. We've got another Clan Ren Rescuer. I think there's already 3 of these, but if there's not, now I have 3 of them. We have a Bounty Guild Initiate. I need a couple more of these to make them viable, but being able to ping something off while having a Bounty Hunter like Mando on the board, it actually ends up being pretty good. And I think Grief Karga is also a bounty hunter. That one I'm going to have to double check, but this could be interesting tech to use if I move away from Mandalorians and more into bounty hunters. We got another copy of Rich Reward, being able to give experience tokens to upgrade our Mandalorians. Super good for cheap bounty. I really wish they were called contracts, honestly. And then we have another Mandalorian Warrior. Mandalorian Warrior, Mandalorian Synergy. So that's just the extra stuff. In terms of cards that I was playing, we have the Hotshot DL44. This goes right into the deck. It's an upgrade that exhausts one of my opponent's units with Mando effect. It gives me an attack. It gives me a power boost. This is like the top card for the Mandalorian, being that he's already cunning and can just do an attack for 3 with this. So that goes straight into the deck. We have another Protector of the Throne. It's a common. If we need it, we have it. If not, we don't. I do have 2 copies of Relentless Pursuit, which I can add to the deck because I am running Bounty Hunters, or if I flip into a more Bounty Hunter centric strategy with Mando, we have access to be able to capture, which is basically a waylay, just both better than and worse than. Then we have Tech. This is sideboard option, honestly, if I feel like I need the smuggle, if this becomes a super important piece of a strategy going forward with the Mando deck, we have it. Otherwise, we can trade it off. So there's that. We have the Marauder here. I don't know that too many people are going to want this, but this can be trade bait for the trade binder. And then we come to this stack here of important cards that are going to be available for me. I wanted to just go through some of the rarer things that I had. So we have here Jabba the Hutt. Excellent to have. If I need him, I've got him. Bo-Katan I have here in case I need her, if I want to flip over to running Bo-Katan as like a side deck, or if I find the Mandalorian strategy isn't really running all that well, I have access to her. She's a rare leader, super good. We've got a Hyperspace Bosk, which, even though it's a common, might be interesting trade bait. We've got Spice Mines. Nothing super important here except for the fact that it is a Hyperspace copy of Experience Token, which is super dope. We have a Hyperspace Fennec Shand. This could go in the main deck because it does end up doing a lot of work at that 7 cost. I've got a Hyperspace Deathmark if I ever want to go into aggression and utilize aggression bounties. I have that. Triple Dark Raid. I think some people are going to end up wanting this, so this is a rare we can trade off. We've got Pre Vizsla, another rare we can trade off if people really want that. We've got Mandalorian Armor, which is a very good rare that's probably going to go directly into the Mando deck. And then in terms of the prizing that I got, I managed to get 2 packs plus a, what are they called? Organized play pack. So in one of our packs, we managed to pull a Maul. So this is actually going to be a very high value rare because a lot of people are going to want it. And since I don't need it for this series, I can trade this off to somebody who does. And then we did manage to pull a foil DJ. So if somebody needs this, we have a foil legendary, which is technically worth less than the actual legendary. But we'll see if we can get some cool stuff out of it. In terms of our organized play pack, we got a Hyperspace Gideon's Light Cruiser. So we'll probably try to trade that off for either a piece we need or a cosmetic upgrade for a card in the deck. We have Take Captive, which is pretty good. If people need that, we have access to that. And then the real money card we have here is a foil Jango Fett. Rare. This is going to be very highly sought after by Grand Inquisitor players and other people who really like Bounty Hunters and Aggression Bosk players. So we have that as trade value, which is a super interesting start to the binder, which we'll showcase here towards the end. Let's talk a little bit about the problem. So the idea behind this was to showcase what you can do with a starter deck and then doing a progression series of buying a couple of packs and doing cards only from sealed product and from trades with other people. I'll try to do online trades, local trades, so on and so forth. The big thing here is that what I'm about to show you is not something everybody has access to. It's not even something I was expecting to have access to. My first pre-release was the worst pre-release pack stuff deck pile of cards I've ever pulled in my entire life for any game I've ever played in the last 25 years of playing pre-release games, right? It was the worst thing. I had a terrible time. The people I was playing against were fine. They were cool. This is not a problem with the people I was playing against. This was a problem with the fact that I got the dodo bird of pre-release packs with that. However, even though I didn't get a legendary in this pre-release kit, I ended up getting a lot of stuff that was worthwhile to play. That Boba Fett deck was really fun to play. There was a lot of cool things, and in my prize pack, I did end up pulling the Maul and the DJ. But one of the cards I did pull in my pre-release pile was this Showcase Lando Calrissian. Now, I could have played Lando, but I'm not a huge fan of the way this character plays. I'm sure somebody is, and that's fantastic for you. You got a really dope looking Showcase that you can work with if you pull this. However, this basically, if I were to sell this, and actually, if I were to try to trade this, I could probably pull everything I need in terms of trade value for This Is the Way. But that kind of defeats the purpose of the series. It's not how much money can you spend and how much money can you get in terms of value in order to be able to just buy out and do whatever you want. So selling this kind of defeats the purpose of that. Trading it to myself for stuff that I need from my case that I'll be opening on Friday or tomorrow, depending on when this specifically comes out. You'll know, I'll put out a post about it. Also kind of defeats the purpose because I'm supposed to be trading with other people. I want you in the comments below, that's right, you, to let me know what you think I should do with this. If I should trade this for, try to see if I can trade this for the Mandalorian Showcase and just use the Mandalorian Showcase in this series as my character card that not a lot of people would necessarily have access to unless they have a lot of money or pulled it. Or should I trade this for value to get cards that I need? I definitely want Darksabers because it's thematic with the Mando starter deck. I definitely want the Mandalorian Legendary, but like there's rares and commons and uncommons and maybe even upgrades and cards that I could use for Bo-Katan specifically in order to be able to build her deck. I could trade for a showcase or I could trade for stuff that I need. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should do going forward, and we'll stick this in this lovely binder right here at the center until we figure out exactly what we want to do with Lando, because people can get lucky and can pull things, but that's not the average experience that most people are going to be experiencing. So with that, let's start sticking these into the binder. We're going to throw our high value cards up top. That's not right. This is what I want. So we've got the Maul, we've got the DJ, we've got the Django, we've got the Gideon, we've got a Take Captive, we've got a Triple Dark Raid, we've got a Prey Vizsla, we've got a Bosk, and we've got a Marauder. And all of that was from just pre-release packs and the prize packs and the OP kit. And that's all we're working with right now. So the next time you see me, I'll probably have 6 extra packs in order to be able to participate in This Is the Way. We'll make some changes to the deck before we go to locals, and we'll talk about that. And then after we come back from locals, we'll open up any prize packs or organized play packs, and we'll work from there based upon what we have. So that's all we have for today. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you all in the next episode of This Is the Way. That should be after release, and we'll have some cool stuff going on with that. Remember to like and comment this video, subscribe to this Star Wars Unlimited YouTube channel for all of your Star Wars Unlimited needs. Once again, let me know below in the comments what you think I should do with that Lando Calrissian. Should I trade it for the Mando Showcase so that way I can play that Mando Showcase in this series? Should I trade it for the value that I have, or should I just sell it off and then we'll call it a wash and I'll just make some extra money on the side? But yeah, that's all we've got. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to follow the creed. This is the way. And with that, I will see you in the stars.